All right, all right, all right. Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. Thumbs up the video, support the channel. If you're watching archive, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. So I ran into this video titled Luis Ortiz is not a cheat, but now Wilder fanboys have the perfect excuse. That's the title of the video. It's got over 5,000 views so far. It's, not exactly going viral, but it's a lot of views for a boxing video on YouTube. All right. And it's by Sporting Icons, just so everybody knows who this is from. And if you want to go listen to it directly, you can go listen to it there. Fair use, by the way. It's time to start going over. We're going to listen to this in parts. We're going to listen to it in parts before I start, right? The reason I found this video is because I saw it on social media. I saw somebody post on social media that Luis Ortiz had tweeted this out, right? And Luis Ortiz tweeted it out, and then, all right. I'm like, okay, fine, right? And so he's supporting this, but let's make sure if you're going to retweet something. Now his account isn't verified, so it is what it is. But it looks more than likely that it is Luis Ortiz's account, from all accounts that I've seen, not Twitter accounts, but just accounts as in sources. But nonetheless, we're going to go over it here really quick. There was a video update. Well, let's check out. Well, the thing is, we're still gonna cover it. Don't worry about it. Okay. I still want to go over the video, and the reason I want to go over the video, okay, is because the video's so full of shit. That's why I want to go over the video. Right. That's why I'm gonna go over it. So the details about this video is still relevant. And I guess, tell you what, right after that one, we're going to listen to the updated one. Just for you, Red Fox. Okay, now let's go ahead and listen to this shit. All right. Got to do this. By the way, yes, this was September 29th. Just, for those that don't know, you could look up the video yourselves. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to, listen. All right. Well, let's give it a go. A dramatic entrance. More dramatic entrances.
So as you all know, the WBC tweeted out that Luis Ortiz failed a VADA test. And Luis Ortiz has responded with 2 messages on Twitter and Instagram, where he said that the results are false and the WBC are wrong for putting out these results without finding out what it was. And
whoa. We already found our first problem. Right out of the gate, okay? The results are not false. The results are what they are, right? He did pop positive. That is not up for debate, right? Just so there's nothing false here, right? The argument is that he has an exemption because he allegedly has blood pressure problems, high blood pressure, right? So there was a positive substance, okay? That doesn't make the result incorrect, right? That doesn't make the results incorrect. So just right out of the gate, but details, details.
The medication that he has is doctor prescribed for high blood pressure, and everybody who should know about this already knew about it. So
everybody except the WBC, yeah, just everybody except the sanctioning body and VADA, the ones doing the testing, knew about it. So, and Wilder's team, they didn't know about it either. But everybody that should know about it, like like Luis Ortiz, his team, and his doctor. That's it. Those are the only people that knew about it. Are you shitting me? Like, you can't just say that. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, everybody that should know about it know about it." Like what? No, let's stop. One, already two false statements right out of the gate. False statement number one: the results are inaccurate. No, they're not. The results are accurate. Even if you had the exemption, it wouldn't make the results inaccurate if something came out positive. It just means that he will be exempt from whatever positive. Just making that real clear, but those are details, right? What he's meaning to say is that he couldn't fail the test for for whatever substance that is, because he's exempt from it, because everybody that knows, right? And of course, it put in a prescription that was given by his doctor. By the way, I don't think we've seen a prescription, but that's not here nor there. I believe the doctor's already talked about it. What we're seeing is the actual capsule, okay, with that he got out of Walgreens, the Walgreens pharmacy, which you can't get unless you have this prescription from the doctor. So fair enough. But okay, that's nice. It would have been nice if you let Vada know about that, though. It would have been nice. I mean, it would have, and we know. How do we know that not everybody that should know knows? Like, how do we know that? Because his own team said they forgot to put it because they didn't think it was relevant, because they weren't thinking about what he takes medically, and he went to the hospital twice and all this shit. All right, they didn't think that was relevant. All right, so no. I mean, holy shit! I just started the video hasn't even been a minute long, and about 40 seconds of that video was just like montage and intros and welcome to the channel, subscribe. Not even a minute in, already two big inaccurate statements. Let's move on.
The WBC have jumped the gun, and this is what Luis Ortiz had to say. Here you go, fans and haters. Fuck a hater. Hashtag clean. Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag real champ. Hashtag no running. Hey, WBC boxing. At WBC Mario 14, you owe the public and Luis an apology for jumping the guns. Straight up, come clean, be fair.
All right, so that is not evidence. The saying that the ones that were caught are saying we're perfectly innocent, this is the reason why, because I'm taking prescription medicine, is not evidence, okay? Saying that the WBC jumped the gun, all right? The WBC is notified by VADA when a fighter tests positive, okay? Period. Now, was it a possibility that Sullivan could have jumped the gun and not clarified certain things? Sure, but that's not his job. At the end of the day, as Luis Ortiz's team admitted, okay, and this is, you're very generous, and this is if you believe them, right? Even in their own version of the story, they forgot to fill out the proper paperwork, all right? Moving on.
And another one where it said that Luis Ortiz.
Oh, but by the way, putting a hashtag clean doesn't mean you're clean, okay? Because calling everybody who's like, hey, why the fuck you test positive for that? Haters and this, that, and the third is not evidence. It's not like information that's valuable. Hashtags on Twitter, okay, don't present a case that you're innocent. It's just making that very, very clear. All right.
Say that the positive test is due to blood pressure medicine, and the WBC wrongly put out in the news without checking if the medicines were cleared. Here is the evidence.
No. Again, according to Ortiz's team, all right, this guy had gone to the ER, twice. And according to his own team, the person that filled out the VADA paperwork, that they didn't even think about putting the medication on the paperwork because they were thinking about fitness stuff, not medical stuff. It didn't even occur to them, according to them. All right? So it's not, if your own team forgot to disclose it, what is the WBC supposed to do? Assume that your fighter has high blood pressure? Like, who assumes that? Who assumes that a guy about to fight for a world title is, let me call so-and-so. Hey, this is Suleiman from the WBC. just wondering, you were just positive for such and such, substances. If you don't mind, do you by any chance, are you taking a medication right now that, could probably be the reason why you tested positive for such and such? I mean, by the way, if I were to totally make this call, if they were totally to catch me making this call, nobody would totally suspect that I'm trying to, insinuate something to you and already have an excuse ready for you, right? Survey says full of shit. Moving on.
Found the following ingredients on Luis Ortiz's test. Both happen to be found on blood pressure medication, and as it happens, Luis Ortiz is legally taking those medications under his doctor's orders. The WBC showed poor judgment tweeting that without.
Okay, so no one accused Luis Ortiz of illegally taking blood pressure medicine. I'm just making that very clear. Okay, no need to say legal, but details. I will say this though. Okay, first of all right, you can't forget to disclose something that important, right? And then act like the victim later on, okay? I mean, it's like, oh, they're picking on a poor guy with high blood pressure. He needs this medicine. It's legal. He's legally taking it. Like, we get it. If you get a prescription from a doctor, you're legally taking the drug. Okay, yeah, we get that. However, it doesn't mean that it's illegal to have that substance in your system without disclosing it, all right? If you would have disclosed it, then they would have to have seen if they would approve you for the exemption. You don't just automatically get the exemption just because the doctor is prescribing you something. Because then there's follow-up questions. Follow-up questions like, well, wait a minute. Why are you taking this? Oh, this condition you have. So high blood pressure. Are you sure you should be boxing at a high professional level? Maybe this isn't for you, all right? New York State Athletic Commission, right, just paid $20+ million, right, in a damage claim, okay? And this was a fighter that didn't have high blood pressure, a lot of, problems, right? Are you telling me right now that the commission will be perfectly fine putting a fighter who's gone to the ER twice just for, just doing normal shit? Not beating the boxing ring, but just doing normal shit. You're telling me this guy went to the ER twice for just doing like normal everyday shit. You have to go to the ER twice. I believe they said twice. It may have been once, but nonetheless, right? This dude has high blood pressure. He's constantly going to the ER. I mean, holy shit. You're telling me right now most commissioners will be like, oh, okay. I mean, why even do a fucking physical then? Right? Fighters do physicals, right? They got to see these guys are healthy enough, okay, to do more than just regular shit all day. Okay, they got to be healthy enough to box. All right? It's like there is a reason they did not disclose this prior. There's a reason for that. You don't know if he's taking that prescription. You don't know that. And also, when you take that prescription, all right, they're able to see the dosage that you have and how much is allowed in your system. There's a lot of factors that go into that. They didn't even bother. Okay, it didn't occur to them. The dude went to the ER twice. They ask you about everything you've taken. Disclose it. Like, oh, well, why would I put the medication? And then you pop dirty and it's, oh, well, duh. It's because he's taking medication. Well, you didn't tell anybody. So, yes, we got to ask, well, why didn't you tell anybody to begin with? Either you're not healthy enough to box, bruh. It's either that. Like, maybe you don't belong in a boxing ring. All right? Because you have, high blood pressure, whatever. Right? You don't belong in a boxing ring. You're too unhealthy to box. Or you're cheating, bro. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. I have a guess on which one it is, but still. Moving on.
Verifying the facts first. Wilder Ortiz is still on. So basically,
it was still on, by the way, because Wilder's hit Fuck it, I'll fight him. That's why it was still on.
What he's saying is the WBC jumped the gun, and you know what the result's going to be now. I mean, the fight will still go ahead. Wilder will try and pull out because he's got a history of running.
Let me tell you guys this, right? Let's say your job calls you up for a random test, a random urine test, right? But hey, man, we got to do a random urine test. Before you take the random urine test, here is a form. All right? Please let us know, like, any prescriptions that you're taking. You know, let's say you're taking something that has morphine in it because you're taking pain medication or whatever, okay? Let's say you live in a state where medical marijuana is perfectly legal. I mean, you would think you would have had to disclose those things, right? This is like saying, like, you don't put anything, right? And then they do the test, and then you pop dirty. And then they come up to you and they say, hey, man, you tested positive. But what do you mean? Yeah, you have, like, drugs in your system. Oh, because, I forgot to tell. I'm prescribed medicine by my doctor. Oh, really? Yeah. I forgot to tell you. Oh, man. I can't believe I didn't tell you. You think, would you accuse them of jumping the gun because they said they found you pop dirty? Nah, that's stupid. That's dumb. Okay, that's some like seriously retarded shit. All right. Anyway, let's move on.
Way, just like he did against Povetkin, and just to give you a brief overview on that one, Povetkin.
He's going to give us an overview of what happened in the Povetkin situation. I can't wait to hear this shit.
Forget what the substance was now, because I'm really crap with PED.
By the way, ironically, Povetkin was caught taking shit that patients of people with heart like problems take. All right, another professional boxer that was taking stuff that is meant for heart patients, people with heart problems. Now, you got one dude that has problems with high blood pressure. Another apparently must have some heart problems, and they're both boxing at championship levels. You know, like, you know, it's just kind of strange how, you know, Wilder just runs into these guys with heart problems and high blood pressure problems, and, you know, they just happen to have to take these stuff because, you know. Now, Povetkin's case, at least he didn't say, okay, that his doctor gave him the shit, at the very least, because, you know, they would have said, well, Povetkin, if your heart is that bad, bro, you shouldn't be boxing. Okay? Like, you'll literally die in the ring. Okay? So I don't know if boxing is something you should be doing. All right? But still, I just find it ironic. So let's move on.
These substances and all this kind of thing. But he failed by being 0.2 milligrams over the limit.
Right. That's it. Just a little amount. That's all it was. He didn't fail by a lot. He just failed by a little. Like, first of all, why was that shit in the system anyway? That's what people like. I keep hearing this. It was just a little bit. It was a little amount. It was trace amounts. Okay, then it went away. Then it came back. Then it went away. Then it came back. You know, you know, like it's like anyway. So let me get this straight. Right? Let's say that somebody's body is missing, right? Somebody's body's missing, and the only person you saw in that vicinity was me, DStyle, right? You go to my house. You're like, hey, you're the detective. I've been looking for this person. We got to search your car. We got to search your house, right? You search my car. You find an itty-bitty little, like the smallest itty-bitty little drop, like a little drop. Just a little bit. It's the smallest possible fucking drop you can find, right? Or better yet, you find a little piece of hair, little bit, like it's the smallest fucking piece of hair. It was from a fucking eyelash. I mean, you could barely see that shit. You find it, right? And it turns out to be from the missing person. Now, you could say, well, it is the DNA of that missing person, but I mean, it's such a little amount. You know, like all we have is a little piece of eyelash. You know, we need like a whole lock of hair. Like we need a whole dead body in your fucking car, right? At the end of the day, if you go over the limit, it's over the limit, bruh. It doesn't matter if it's like, no, it's not. It's just a little bitty amount. It's just like, come on, it's nothing. It's nothing. Like, oh no, shut up. All right. Anyway, let's listen to more of this shit.
And this particular drug, whatever it was, substance, was only a few weeks before that test perfectly legal. So it was still getting out of the Povetkin system.
So first of all, he's saying that it was perfectly legal just a couple of weeks before that. Actually, he tested clean a couple of weeks before that. He didn't have it in the system. But anyway, that's actually not true. They had announced it, and I haven't done this in a long time, but I believe it was either September or October when they had told everybody, okay, by the way, Meldonia is going to be illegal in a couple of months. We're going to give you all this time to get it out of your system. Okay, all you Russian athletes, get it out of your system. You got a couple months, right? They had months to get out of the system. Months. And what they did was there was a certain date. I don't remember the dates, okay? But there was one date where they allowed only a certain amount, okay? And then there was another cutoff date where it was absolutely illegal all the way. You couldn't have any of it in your system. So what he's saying is flat out wrong.
Fight night, it would have been out of his system totally. But okay, so he shouldn't have been taking anything to start with. That's the first thing.
Okay, end of discussion. He shouldn't have been taking anything. What do you mean? Okay, well, he shouldn't have taken anything, but like, there's no but. What do you mean, but? What do you mean? Like he just breezes through that part. Like, okay, all right, he shouldn't have been taking shit, but still, like, what do you mean, but? There's no but. That's the end of the discussion. He shouldn't have been taking anything. Boom, done. End of discussion. That's it. But no.
But as soon as the A sample was failed, Wilder jumped on a plane from.
Yeah, the moment that the A sample, he jumped on a plane. First of all, okay. First of all, there's more to that story. Okay, we're not gonna go through the whole story, but you know how many times a fighter has a false positive? It's extremely rare. Okay, now it's possible. Not very probable, but it's possible. That's why they do an A and B sample. Now, before we continue, does everybody remember what happened with the B sample? Yeah, he failed that B sample. All right, let's move on.
In England and flew straight away back to America before even the B sample was tested. And what happened?
No. Remember, he failed the B sample. So I hope he clarifies that in a moment, but we'll see.
Deontay Wilder tried.
No, it sounds like he's thinking a little too much there. He's trying to find the words, trying to, like, he knows it sounds ridiculous. He's like, I mean, yeah, he's tested positive, but he flew out after the A and the B. He was in America.
To sue Povetkin, he won, and he won $4.5 million. But guess what?
Right? Why did he win that lawsuit? Before I don't want you to say, but why did he win it? Why did he win that lawsuit?
He hasn't been paid. As of right now, he has not been paid that $4.5 million because Team Povetkin are countersuing, saying that these results are contaminated.
Contaminated? Now the results are contaminated. Just weren't they arguing that, yeah, it was in the system, but it was from way back when it was legal and you still had, some fragments of it that were still left. And Meldonium, it plays tricks on people. It plays peekaboo. Anytime you do a test, like, here I am. No, I'm not. Here I am. No, I'm not here no more. It does this peekaboo game, and it could be forever. So if it ever appears in any way, shape, or form, you have to excuse Povetkin because it just appeared. Just pop goes a weasel. It just comes out of nowhere. Okay. A little bitty amount. No, it just came out of nowhere. All right. Well, what happened to those were the trace amounts that were left off from when he was taking them. Now, I don't know if Povetkin's team said this, but this is what the uploader is saying. He's saying that apparently Povetkin's countersuing because the results are contaminated. Right. All right.
and many other reasons why. So that's why John.
What do you mean, and many other reasons why? Because the results were contaminated, and many other reasons why. Look, I'm not saying like it's not like it's 100 reasons. There's one reason why he sued or countersued. All right, like making it sound like because a lot of legal stuff. It's like 100 million stuff in there. I don't want to go through all that. It's just a lot of reasons. But the only reason I'm going to mention is that the fact that the results are contaminated. Oh, I see.
Wilder hasn't got his money yet, so he jumped straight back because he was thinking, "Thank God for that. I'm out of it." Now, Luis Ortiz, he's taking high blood pressure medicine as he.
Now, any mention of Povetkin popping again? No mention of that. And he ended up fighting anyway against some last-minute replacement. We're not going to mention that at all? Or we're just going to... Oh, I forgot. Oh, this is a video indicting fucking Wilder. Okay.
You can plainly see there. And, Wilder will be jumping the gun straight away. That's it. It's off. I'm not fighting him, blah, 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 blah. And if the fight does go ahead and Wilder happens to lose, you know fine well exactly what Wilder fanboys are going to be saying.
Let me guess. Wilder fanboys would say that Luis Ortiz failed, random PED testing. No, like they would say that? Why would they say that?
That Luis Ortiz only won because he was taking PEDs and Wilder was stupid to fight him. That's going to be their excuse. You know it is. And if Wilder was to win, they're going to say, see, Wilder's that good, he even beat somebody who cheats. But Luis Ortiz...
Oh, is that what they're going to say?
Isn't cheating. He is taking high blood pressure medicine. Legally prescribed. So the WBC and VADA should have made that very, very clear. Now, of course, when I first seen these results, me, like everybody else, just jumped the gun. I was like, oh, for God's sake, he's done it again.
Man, nobody jumped the gun, okay? Nobody. If it's this idea that people jump the gun. They jumped the gun on poor Luis Ortiz. Everybody should have known that he was taking high blood pressure medicine. Because that's totally something you ask a high-level athlete that's about to fight in a world championship fight. You make sure you ask them, hey, by the way, you tested positive, but just are you taking some life-threatening medication right now? I just, before I jump the gun and tell everybody the fact, they just failed the fucking test. Do you have, do you have any serious conditions? No, no cardiac arrest in the last week or so, nothing like that. All right, we'll just make sure.
Now, the first time, Luis Ortiz couldn't really say anything because he was eating some kind of, was it?
Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. Okay. By the way, remember, this is not the first time Luis Ortiz gotten caught, okay? But he's about to tell us why it's all right, look.
Horse or something like that. I forget what it was. It's some kind of meat that is injected for growth, and in the US it's illegal, and if found eating it, you could be arrested.
Right. He ate some meat. Okay. I mean, holy shit, maybe that meat is what gave him that high blood pressure. Maybe he's eating too much meat there. Maybe Luis Ortiz has to go to well done. I mean, maybe that medium rare or that rare isn't working out for him. Maybe we got to go rare or well done. So all the it's not contaminated or something. I have no idea, but maybe that's why he has high blood pressure.
So he was better off taking that 9-month ban. But either way, the Wilder family.
I was being sarcastic, by the way.
Boys now and Wilder will be jumping all over this one, saying that if Wilder was to lose now, then he lost to a drug cheat. Well, Luis Ortiz is not a drug cheat. He takes medication that is prescribed.
Okay. Luis Ortiz is saying that he has high blood pressure, and so is his team. Conveniently, because the drug that they, of a condition they conveniently have, that drugs, oh, by golly gee, the drug just so happens to have stuff that is illegal, okay, in WADA's illegal list, or WADA's illegal list, okay? Now, if you don't, at best, it's possible, but it's an awful big coincidence. And not only that, what are the chances that that's a coincidence and they forgot to notify and put on the form, okay, that they're taking this medication, right? And it's not like a medication he's been taking forever, and there's no, I don't see anything that he's ever reported this before. Okay, he went to the ER. I mean, they're making it sound like the dude almost died. I mean, he's almost dying just doing regular shit that people do every day, but he wants to have a boxing fight, right?
So if Luis Ortiz wins, he doesn't get any kind of stick from me.
Right. Oh, Wilder gets all the credit, Ortiz gets no credit. Okay.
He gets a legitimate, yes, he beat Wilder.
I mean, let's look at the comment section. I mean, I could totally see that it's only the Wilder fans that have this, weird way of seeing things, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's look at a comment here. Let's see. If Ortiz wins, Wilder was beaten by an old man on blood pressure tablets. Laughing faces. Wow. I mean, I could totally see it's only the Wilder fans that are in the business of taking away victories. Just them. All right. So with that said, he was popped, all right? And that's it. Let's listen to the updated video. This was 21 hours ago. Let's look at the chat really quick. What's up to everybody? I see you guys in the chat. I see a bunch of people in the chat.
So the WBC have made their decision now that Luis Ortiz will not be fighting Deontay Wilder for the WBC title.
Everybody's just making decisions. All these decisions. I mean, Luis Ortiz's team made the decision of not disclosing the fact that they're taking his medications. Okay? I mean, they're making like this is life-threatening high blood pressure medication. He went to the ER, guys. Okay? They had to put him on IV. All right? I mean, this is important. I mean, I'm sure if I had to do a drug test at my work, and they gave me a form, and they told me, if you're taking any medications, please list them here. I am sure I would just overlook that and say, this is about my work. This has nothing to do with like my medical problems. Okay, this is about, how I perform at work and stuff. But I guess we're all making decisions. Luis Ortiz and his team made their decision. All right. And it goes further than that. Even though Ortiz is telling the truth, he made his decisions on his diet, on what he eats, and all that stuff. So we're just saying that's why he has this high blood pressure problem. Okay. But it's Wilder's fault. Okay. It's Wilder's fault that this guy has high blood pressure. All right.
What a fucking surprise. Disappointed? Yes. For Deontay Wilder, do I feel sorry for him? Absolutely. Luis Ortiz, I do feel bad for him too, especially if he hasn't intent.
Oh yeah, this guy feels sorry for Wilder. Right. That's even though it's Wilder's fault that he didn't do the Povetkin fight, he ran for the hills. It's Wilder's fault that this fight isn't happening. Okay, it's all his fault, right? But he feels sorry for Wilder.
intentionally taken something on purpose, as in, if this substance was found due to his high blood pressure medication, then yeah, I feel bad for him, but at the end of the day, it was pure stupidity. Because he should have put it down on the form, no matter whether or not the form was in English, whether it was in French. He had people there who understood.
Oh, he had to change a heart. Look at this. But it does speak a lot about his assumptions. Remember, the WBC jumped the gun. Everybody who knew. Ortiz said everybody should know, so it must be true. Right.
What they were doing, and if Luis Ortiz wasn't directly blamed himself, then Team Ortiz is to blame, no matter how you look at it. And not only that, the WBC have in fact ordered Bermane Stiverne to fight Deontay Wilder. Again, what a fucking surprise. Now,
first of all, I get it, right? Because they're saying, oh, it's yeah, let's blame Ortiz, even because the evidence has been so overwhelming now that, yeah, I can't back up Ortiz much anymore. But what's with the what a fucking surprise? Like, oh, the fight was canceled. What a surprise. They've ordered the Stiverne Wilder fight. What a surprise. Like, what do you mean, what a surprise? What are you trying to say? I'm just curious, you know? Okay, just like, oh, what a surprise! It will just just clarify. Maybe he will.
I know it's not Wilder's fault. I really do. But the WBC protection program is in full operation.
Okay, it's not Wilder's fault, but the WBC protection program is in full operation, right? So I'm not going to blame Wilder directly. I'm going to blame him indirectly. See, that just makes it all better, right?
Deontay Wilder has said, I want to fight Luis Ortiz. No problem. Luis Ortiz said, look, you can test my hair follicles, all this kind of thing, to show that I haven't deliberately taken any PEDs within the last 90 days. That will clear all this up. But the WBC are just not interested.
Okay, let's see. Here we go again. Okay? Oh, the protection program. Okay? Luis Ortiz said, right? That's not quite what he said. Luis Ortiz was talking about betting the whole purse. Okay? And if Wilder bet his whole purse or some shit like that, right? That then they could take a piece of his hair, because that shit could go back 90 days. Okay, it's not like he just put it out there. Okay, let's just make that clear. All right. So he's not telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. He's just telling one small portion of what Ortiz said.
They are determined for Deontay Wilder to fight Bermane Stiverne, as they have been for quite a while now. And it's only because Al Heyman forced their hand that they decided to say, okay, Wilder, you can go fight.
Okay, so now Al Heyman's behind this. Okay. Is Al Heyman behind everything? Like, is there anything Al Heyman isn't behind? It's not. Look, let me make this clear. I hate that fight. I hate Stiverne versus Wilder. I really do. But it's not like a shock. Like, people are acting like it's Stiverne is the former champion. Like, it's not like this is a big shocker, all right? Like in the rankings, when you're the champion and you lose, you're like at number 1 or number 2. Like, it's not like this is, a total surprise. Like, that's not what this is. You're just making that very clear, right? By the way, so the WBC's protection program really wants Stiverne versus Wilder. So why did Stiverne not pass his test the last time?
Ortiz. So, again, we're not going to see Deontay Wilder in a big fight, and Deontay Wilder gets an easy pass all the way through to Anthony Joshua, which is what he wants anyway, the big payday, without ever having to fucking step up. Now,
Right. First of all, this idea that, see, he's saying it's not Wilder's fault, right? Let's just keep that in mind. But listen to what he just said. Let me play that part again, right?
Again, we're not going to see Deontay Wilder in a big fight, and Deontay Wilder gets an easy pass all the way through to Anthony Joshua, which is what he wants anyway, the big payday, without ever having to fucking step up.
Okay, none of this is Wilder's fault, but all along, all Wilder's wanted is to get the Joshua fight without ever having to step up. Well, first of all, if we go down the list of Joshua opponents and ever, quote-unquote, make the big step up, okay, that everybody's saying Wilder has to make, then we're going to end up with probably every single name on Joshua's resume aside from Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, let's just make that very clear right now. Okay, the heavyweight division is not this stacked division with a shitload of talent everywhere. Okay, it's a very weak division. This idea that Wilder has to go through a gauntlet and he has to build a resume that is, you know, makes sense for him to fight Joshua is insane. That's asinine. Because I could guarantee you this right now. Joshua's next opponent is not going to meet the requirements that a bunch of people are saying Wilder needs to meet in order to be satisfied to see a fucking Joshua fight. And you could take that to the fucking bank.
Now, again, like I said, it's not his fault about these.
No, it's not his fault, but you know, the piece of shit just wants he just wants a free ride. You know, he just wants a free ride. He don't want to earn this shit, but it ain't his fault though.
PED users. It's not his fault, but it is his fault. 38 fights.
It ain't his fault. The next sentence says, but it is his fault. What? Again, it ain't his fault, but it's his fault.
38 bums. So now he's got an easy pass right the way through to Joshua.
You know, none of it's his fault, but all the easy path, that's his fault.
Or even Parker if you wanted to, I suppose. But I'm bloody pissed off about it because I wanted him to fight Luis Ortiz. If that couldn't have happened, then at least allow him to go fight Dillian White. What is wrong with that fight? That is a good name fight. And it's
because White and Parker are not in the WBC rankings. Okay? Wilder doesn't make these rules, right? That's not the way it works. Now, again, I don't like the Stavern fight. I don't. But what do you want them to do? Okay? I hate the WBC as much as the next person, but I know that they don't have a Deontay Wilder protection program right now. Okay, I know that. Okay, I also know, okay, that the WBC is doing the Stavern fight because they want Stavern out of the way. That's why they're doing it. He's the former champion, right? It's not like out of this world. It's not like asinine. Like, how do they even come up with this fight? Like, I hate the fight, right? But at this point, I mean, Ortiz popped dirty, bro. Okay? And what do you want? Like, they did, like you said, you just agreed. It's Ortiz's fault.
that's of Joshua.
By the way, who said Wilder can never fight White? Who said he can never fight Parker? What if he ends up fighting those guys anyway? He's got to fight somebody after the Stavern fight. And if it is Joshua, what's the big fucking deal? The winner of that, I mean, let's say Wilder loses that fight. Okay, so Wilder fights somebody else. If Wilder wins, well, he defends the title against somebody else. These fights will eventually work themselves out. The fights are going to happen, right? He tried to make a fight with the boogeyman, but the boogeyman had high blood pressure, right? Allegedly.
And in some ways, Wilder has almost then got a big name on his record should he have been successful against Dillian White. But now he's going to have to fight a guy he's already beaten once and beat quite convincingly. Okay, he's the only guy he's never knocked out. So now that's how it's going to be billed. But you know what? Nobody wants to watch this damn fight. What is wrong with the WBC? Nobody wants to watch this damn fight. But Manchester Vance should...
First of all, aside from some like scattered fans here and there, like very hardcore boxing fans, like no one's clamoring. Let's not act like the Ortiz fight was being clamored for. Okay, let's not act like it was on high demand, right? Was it a better fight than the Stavern fight, in my opinion? Yes. Were more people going to watch it on TV? No. Okay, the same amount of casuals are going to watch both fights. Just a side note.
Being a damn mandatory to start with, and not only are you not going through with your investigation with Luis Ortiz fully, but now you're putting Bermane Stiverne in a fight against Deontay Wilder that nobody wants to see. And why is that? Because nobody wants to see Deontay Wilder 2. Unless he's...
I thought we already established that Ortiz is to blame, and that's it. And it's not Wilder's fault. I thought we already established that. Now he's arguing all the WBC. I mean, they're not even doing a complete investigation of his Ortiz situation. This dude, honestly, is all over the place, right?
A big name, because people have been waiting 9 years for it. His fans have been begging for big fights. And whenever a big fight comes along, like Povetkin or Luis Ortiz, some kind of crap happens. Now, Wilder is to blame for the other fights that didn't happen. Okay, not the PED ones, not Povetkin, not what.
So now we don't blame him for Povetkin, right? So now it's not all. I mean, he was already on a plane after, like, the moment they Vada tested positive with the A sample, he went straight to a plane, right? Like the moment, which we know what that was insinuating, right? But now he's not to blame for the PD ones. He's to blame for the ones that could have happened, right? Like, it's okay. You know, it's not like, you know, people make it seem like he can just snap of his finger, just say, hey, I want to fight that guy right there, and the fight could happen. That's not how it works, okay? Fighters have schedules. There's you know, a lot of stuff going on in the boxing world. And when you have a fight already scheduled, like he was going to fight Ortiz, other fighters, other managers, they're already in other negotiations for other fights. Okay, it's not that simple. And it's especially even harder to get a fighter to agree to fight you at such last second, at such last minute. Okay, and you want to fight Wilder in 1 month. You got 1 month to prepare. You ready? Are you ready? Like, that's not the way it works. Okay, and they still have to negotiate. They still got to sit down. They got to see if they can work out the purse, how they're going to do the split. A lot of stuff goes into that. Like, it's not like he could just, at the snap of his fingers, just call somebody out. All right? You guys want him to, you think he has the power to call anybody out, all right? But when we say, hey, let's do the Joshua fight, no, well, not that one. Who the fuck does he think he is that he could just call anybody out? Like, you know, anyway.
But still, he should have stepped up before now. And now, the Wilder haters, if you like, if that's what you want to call people, are just not going to go away, are they? Including myself. There is ammunition to throw crap at him. Because
what is it? What is with this narrative that he needs to step up? Okay, who in the heavyweight division has stepped up? Exactly. Like, you have Joshua that fought Klitschko, and then who else? Who has Parker fought that constitutes as a step up? Right? Who? Who's he fought? What the fuck has Ortiz done? Okay, that constitutes as a step up. Who in the whole fucking division has a step up? Are you shitting me?
Nobody wants to see Stiverne. His own fans don't want to see Stiverne. Nobody wants to see Bermane Stiverne.
Well, he's right about that.
But one shine light out of this, somebody is going to have a big step-up fight, and that could well be Dillian White versus Dominic Breazeale. Obviously, Dominic Breazeale was meant to be fighting Bermane Stiverne. Now it looks like he could well be fighting Dillian White, because Al Heyman is not going to have Dominic Breazeale on the card. So, not only did it go from being a great event with Wilder versus Ortiz, and then Stiverne versus Brazil, Daniel Jacobs was meant to be on the card, Jaron Miller was meant to be on the card, and Adam Kownacki was meant to be on the card, and now all of these guys are no longer on the damn card. The only fight they've got is Deontay Wilder versus Bermane Stiverne. How excited is everybody? Thrilled. Thank you very
Anyway, I don't like that fight either, but with that said, I gave my thoughts, guys. I really don't have much more to add. Okay? Don't really have much more to add to that. But there you go. Okay? There you go. So let's get this damn Stiverne fight out of the fucking way, and then we can get some fights done. All right? With that said, this is DStyle. I'm out.